Right, we've got some breaking news to bring you now, and that is that the PGMOL have acknowledged that VAR made a mistake yesterday against Chelsea. Carve, I think this may be unsurprising, but what can you tell us?
Well, look, straight after the game yesterday, PGMOL chief Howard Webb contacted our private, but you would have to assume that he apologised on behalf of PGMOL.
Arsenal in a move that has intensified the spotlight on officiating standards, the English FA has reportedly taken the unprecedented step of suspending the VAR officials from the Carabao Cup semi-final second leg between Arsenal and Chelsea. The match, held at the Emirates Stadium, concluded with Arsenal securing their place at Wembley, but the 1-0 victory has been completely overshadowed by what critics are calling a litany of errors. Following an emergency review, the FA moved to sideline the video officiating team, led by James Bell, as questions mount over the consistency of the technology in high-stakes domestic ties. The primary flashpoint occurred in the Chelsea penalty area during a frantic period of play that saw Wesley Fofana appear to handle the ball. Replays showed the ball making clear contact with Fofana's arm in an unnatural position while he was challenging for a cross. Despite the proximity of the incident and the availability of multiple camera angles, the VAR team chose not to intervene, leaving the Chelsea defence unpunished and the Arsenal attackers in a state of visible frustration. The failure to award a penalty in such a decisive moment has been cited as a clear and obvious error that necessitated official disciplinary action. Adding fuel to the fire was an earlier incident involving Gabriel Martinelli, who was caught by a heavy challenge from Trevoh Chalobah inside the box. While the on-field referee, Peter Banks, allowed play to continue, many expected a VAR review to result in a spot kick for the Gunners. Instead, the check was completed in record time with a no-foul verdict. Former players and pundits have slammed the decision, noting that the follow-through was reckless and would have been penalised in almost any other context this season. The atmosphere at the Emirates reached a boiling point as the inconsistencies continued throughout the 90 minutes. Fans of both London clubs have expressed rare unity in their criticism of the officiating, arguing that the VAR team failed to provide the safety net the technology was designed for. The FA's suspension of James Bell and his assistant, Daniel Robothan, is seen as a direct response to the reputational damage caused by such a high-profile failure in a match broadcast to millions globally. Mikel Arteta, while celebrating the win, was notably guarded in his post-match comments, though reports suggest he was privately stunned by the lack of intervention on the Martinelli foul. Across the touchline, Chelsea's Liam Rosenior was more vocal, questioning how a handball as glaring as Fofana's could be overlooked in the age of high-definition video review. The suspension of the official serves as a stern reminder that the FA is no longer willing to tolerate performance lapses that jeopardise the credibility of the Carabao Cup. This controversy comes at a time when VAR is already under heavy scrutiny across English football. The Bell-Robothan suspension is expected to trigger a wider investigation into the training and communication protocols used at Stockley Park for cup competitions. Critics argue that the pressure of a semi-final atmosphere shouldn't lead to a hesitation in using the monitor, yet that appears to be exactly what happened during several pivotal moments at the Emirates. For the officials involved, the suspension marks a significant blow to their professional standing. They will reportedly miss the next several rounds of domestic fixtures while undergoing retraining and performance evaluation. The FA has stated that it remains committed to the highest standards of officiating and will continue to hold individuals accountable when those standards are not met, particularly in games that determine finalists for major silverware. As Arsenal prepares for the final at Wembley, the shadow of the semi-final glaring blunders remains. While the result stands, the conversation has shifted toward the need for a more transparent VAR process. Whether this suspension will lead to more accurate decision-making in the future is the question on every fan's mind, but for now, the FA has sent a clear message: incompetence in the VAR booth will no longer go unpunished.